Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name's Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. Boom. And today, a musical empire with Empirism. We're going to play one of his tracks to kick off the show. This is Neon Mancer. Are you ready? Let's oge. Welcome to the show, everybody. You're doing well. It's Friday morning here in Australia, very early in the morning and very early for our guest as well. I'm so glad you could join us. We will do the usual shout out, about 30 minutes into the show, but I see you all your smiling faces in the chat, and it makes me smile. See, look at this. See how I can smile? Good to see you all. And yeah. Wow, it's the end of the week. It's not really the end of the week for me because I work 7 days a week on this YouTube thingamabob. So, but it is my favorite time of the week because I get to have a special guest on the show and I get to pick their brains. I get to smash their head open, get inside and pull out all the stuff outside their head and find out what makes them tick behind the music that they make. And today is no different because I've been wanting to have this guest on the show for a while. But, sometimes it's just the right time, because he's been popping up hither, tither, there and there and playing live on all these streams and stuff and doing collaborations and getting out there. So now was the time to have him on the show. You probably know him as that guy who's normally sitting behind an absolute wall of fucking synths. And I know him as Empirism, and most of you do too, or as Emp. So he's here all the way from Finland, yeah? So how cool is that? And we got to say too, like everybody's got to really thank him and throw a lot of emojis around. Most of you have already found the Empirism emojis, so throw them around a lot today because he's very kindly come on the show, and it's as I said, it's an ungodly hour over there in Finland, and he's decided to come on. So we thank him very much. But let's get to the meat of it, and let's bring him on because I can see him sitting there patiently with his sunglasses on, and we've got to get him on the show. Let's bring him on. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the man, the myth, the legend, the keyboard champion of all, it is Empirism. Howdy. How are you, my friend?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
What time?
So glad to be here.
What time is it there?
It's a little over 1 a.m.
Wow. Yeah. So, as I said, thank you so much. You've had to make some arrangements to be able to come on so late because, this is not your usual time. A little. But I thank you for that.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
All right. So, I'm really excited because I see, being from Finland, do you have a lot of trouble on here on YouTube with people understanding your dialect on here? Is that something you come across?
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes?
Sometimes, yeah, but I get used to that.
Do you have trouble understanding some of the fools here on YouTube as well? Because I think that's a more important question.
No, I understand pretty well, but they don't understand me pretty well.
Because when I talk to Russ, I still have trouble understanding Russ.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That's because I've just been a bitch to Russ. Yeah. But no,
I try to speak simple.
You don't need to, my friend. I understand you absolutely crystal clear. So I always worry that people can't.
Awesome.
I always worry people can't understand me because I talk way too fast, and the Aussie accent is putrid. It's not the best. So let's get into it. Hit you up with the question I ask everybody who comes on the show. What does music mean to you, Empirism?
Everything. Just everything. I can't live without music. Yeah.
Has there been a time in your life where music's got you through something, some terrible tragedy, or something where it's helped you get through something really good?
Many times, both situations, yeah.
Can you give me an example? Or am I digging too deep?
Not a single one. I can't remember them all. I live in the moment pretty much, so I don't reminding what's
interesting.
Past.
You live in the moment, yeah. So it's like is that a conscious decision to not like focus on the past?
Yeah, it's a natural thing, I think, and it's reflecting on my jams too, because my jams are like melodies on that moment. I don't plan them or anything.
Right. So based around like the way you play, because you are an improvisation. You do improvise a lot, like when you play.
Every jam is an improvisation, more or less.
So,
of course, I have a track there, and I know the key, but that's it. I go whatever comes to my mind and stuff like that.
Absolutely. I mean, and people say like improvisation is it's something that I don't think people do enough. I think being able to improvise on your feet is a really great skill for people to have, and not have the music in front of them, not have a plan, because it helps you to jam better with people as well too.
Yeah, it helps a lot. I think it's helped me to forget my worries and daily shit and stuff like that. I just let the music roll and jamming along with it. Yeah.
When you make music, do you obsess over making music? Like, say that song we had there, that track we just played, Neon Mancer. When you put down, do you obsess over stuff when you're recording it, or do you just let it flow and let it go?
It depends. It depends. Some tracks or some jams that inspire me too. So it depends. Some jams are just jams that go, and I'm not much obsessed.
Well,
But something I did with Scars, for example, I was so obsessed.
right? Yeah. I guess
Yeah.
when you're working with somebody else, there's a pressure on your shoulders to live up to
Yeah,
to their.
I don't feel any pressure because I do my thing and they do theirs. So I don't feel any pressure, you know.
Geez, lucky you. When I do a collab, I feel terrible, and I feel like I'm going to let the project down all the time. I mean, because I
Yeah.
never get it finished. But
I never get disappointed when someone sends stuff back, and especially from Scars, I was totally blown my mind. That was so freaking awesome.
yeah, I mean, she's a fantastic musician too, and which
Yeah.
is bizarre too, because like I mean, I had a conversation with her recently, and she was like, this community is full of so many talented people, and I feel like I'm not. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You're not good enough. What?
But I can relate because I had same feelings back in the day.
All right. Well, I'm going to make a note of that. We'll come back to that. Let's ask some easier questions for the beginning. Do you remember growing up, what was the music that was played in your household by your family? And who were some of those artists, if they played music?
It was Finnish folk music basically. Basically, you know.
Yeah, I'm
That
interested.
that's
I'm
that
interested.
that tango or something like that. Yeah.
Because what is I've always wanted to know, because what is the Finnish music scene like? Is it I'm guessing it's like the rest of the world, where there's of course you've got your commercial music from around the world, but is there a huge
Uh,
market there?
and locally, yes. Locally, yes. But Finnish music is based on classic like tango or something like that. And then there is rock and, of course, metal.
Absolutely. See, I grew up with lots of Finnish metal bands. There's
Yeah,
heaps.
metal in Finland is a big fucking thing. Yeah.
What about dance clubs and the whole ecstasy nightclub underground warehouse? Was that a thing there as well?
Yeah. We had. I grew up in the 90s, and I lived there.
All right. Now I told you before the show. Now, if you give me a thread, I'm going to put. So, were you one of those people who are at warehouses, banging pills down off your chops? Were you- I was.
Yeah, I think I had my fair share.
Right. Now we're getting down to it, man. Now, now I want to see. I wish I could see a photo of young Empirism at a warehouse party, totally off chops on pills, munching away, smashing out to some heavy beats.
Actually, it's not that big role back then. Maybe more booze,
Right, man.
but
I was really
but
into.
totally wasted.
Yeah. Because it was a different time then too, man. Like I know I've talked about this with Russ too. Russ was right in
Yes,
that scene.
it was.
Totally different. I mean, you could go out and find these clubs, and they're always a secret. We didn't have Facebook back then. You would have to rely on somebody telling you there's a warehouse over here. And you'd have to get your drugs. You'd have to go there.
Yeah,
Sometimes you'd get raided by the police, and that would, it was a whole movement, and you had to know people to get there. These days, it's not. You can't do that now.
Yeah. And when you went to the road, your parents have no idea where are you.
So
no updates or anything like that.
Yeah. No mobile phones, man. No mobile phones saying, "Hey." So how old would you have been when you were hitting those clubs and doing all that stuff?
First, I think I was 16.
Wow.
Yeah, I was in a bar at the age of 15. Yeah.
So at that time, when you're going to clubs like that, was that inspiring you to make music even at that early age? So what I'm getting at is, had you already started delving into music?
Yeah.
And what was...
I was actually a kid when I started with Commodore 64, but it was not like any music. It's just noises and to see how stuff works and something like that. But in early 90s, when I got Amiga 500, that was a game changer.
Absolutely, man. My first computer was a VIC-20 and moved on to a Commodore 64. Did you have the little keyboard thing, the piano thing that went on top of the Commodore 64?
No.
Do you remember that?
I did.
Let me find. I'm going to look for it. Commodore 64. I guess it's called a piano, and you could put it on the top. I wish I could find it. Let me see images. There's got to be images on Google. Piano. Here it is. Is this it here? Yeah, this is it. I'll do a zoom in. So it was like this. So it would sit over the top of your computer. I had one of these.
I didn't have that luxury.
That was.
I didn't have them.
It wasn't.
I had to do it with commands and stuff like that.
You look
programming it.
Yeah, you look at that technology.
That is a luxury.
Yeah. I had to save up a lot of money to get one of these. I did a paper round, delivering papers in the morning to save up.
I can't believe that.
And I didn't know how to use it. But you look at that and think where we are now compared to this.
Yeah.
A lot has changed, man. A lot has changed.
A lot, yeah.
I'd like to see one of these in your studio.
I have a C64.
You still have a C64? Wow.
Yeah.
And
I sometimes have had a dream that I do once more tracker-based track, and I jump over it with my new stuff.
Because, if it wasn't for, it was the Amiga, really. Like, so you said you moved up to the Amiga. That's really around where MIDI became a big thing.
Yeah, and Amiga was sample-based stuff most. But in the C64, there was legendary chip, SID sound chip, and nothing beats that.
No, it's
that 8-bit sound is amazing, even today.
For those of you who don't know, that's the SID chip. It was inside the Commodore 64, and it was just before its time. Like in some of the games that people were making on the Commodore 64 then, the music was far beyond anything else. Like nobody could compete with it. Every computer could not compete. You had Amstrad and Spectrum and all these big computer brands fighting for supremacy, but the SID chip was the thing that set The Commodore 64 are far from everything else, isn't that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And these days, you can download things like this called trackers on your iPad, and you can get a lot of the music and games and stuff. Such even if I do like I think there's like some games in here. Even if I load one of these, I don't even know if I can do it. No, it's not working for some reason. Yeah, but you can actually load trackers in here from Commodore 64. The SID chip was way before its time. And there are so many clones now out there, software that are trying to replicate the SID chip. It is just...
No, they can't.
No.
They just can't, because the chip was so... I don't know how it is even possible, but they can't replicate that sound chip, in my opinion.
Well, if somebody ever brings out a synth that does it to a close, I will be the first one to buy it, because I love retro stuff.
I tried a couple synth that should be 8-bit, but they are not. They're just not. Yeah.
So let's talk about your music and how you got inspired with music when you were young. Do you remember the first album that you purchased with your own pocket money?
Yeah, I had the Iron Maiden cassette. My first bought album. But before that, I was grown up in a little village, a few families, and there was an older guy who was a freaking metalhead. and he copied me Iron Maiden with 2 cassette recorders.
Oh, wow.
And another one played it, and another one records it in the same room. And you can imagine the sound quality. but it was still cool. I was totally hooked to Iron Maiden, and yeah.
We did what we had to do back then. You know what's funny, Empirism? You look back at that kind of method of like taping stuff and the low quality, and we were cool with it. It was all right, Now though, there's software that takes your great music now and turns it into shit and degrades it. And we buy that shit now. We buy stuff to degrade our music and make it sound like shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there something wrong with human beings?
I don't know. Yeah, our vinyl scratch has the effects and stuff like that. Yeah,
it's a strange thing, It makes me wonder. I do this show and show all these apps, and it's like, hey, here's all these great apps to make such high quality music, and then these other people drop these apps. It's like totally degrade your sound, totally destroy it. It sounds like crap. It makes it sound like an old tape from the 1980s that got chewed up in a cassette recorder, and we're just like, oh man, I gotta have it, man. I gotta make my music sound like shit.
Yeah. Life and music is a strange thing.
It sure is. So Iron Maiden. Now, I was a big Iron Maiden fan as well, and I think maybe people forget this about you because they see all the synths, and I know I'm guilty of it too. I see you on camera, I see you performing, and we just kind of get enamored by all the synths, and I always think that's a synth guy. But I forget too that you play guitar, even though it's there. So was metal a big thing for you? Like not only Iron Maiden.
Yeah. I was a metalhead in late '80s. I listened nothing but metal.
Awesome. So did I.
Some hard rock and maybe it's Wasp metal. Maybe not.
Back then, I think back then it was. I classed it as metal then.
Back then it was, but it's more close to hard rock. But Wasp was me. Oh man, it was like everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it just.
I was a Wasp freak.
It's funny
Still is.
with metal. I think it's interesting with most music because metal was Wasp and stuff like that. Even like a lot of stuff like Poison and all that was classed as metal for a point, even though it was glam metal, whatever. But metal, it just continued to get faster and more aggressive and more aggressive and more fast and fast and fast and fast. And then it got to a point where it was black metal. It's so fast you couldn't even understand like the drums were actually playing. And then it all of a sudden black metal turned into folk music. And there were harps and flutes and shit. And it was like,
nu metal and stuff.
Nu metal. I try and forget nu metal completely. I just erase that from the list. Anthrax did it good, and then everything after that, no thank you. But did you, like, I was a big Iron Maiden fan. Did you have posters?
I don't think so.
Man, see, that was one of the things about Iron Maiden. Their poster, the Eddie character, it was such good artwork on the albums, and my whole room was filled with the posters of Iron Maiden. And
I had a couple posters, but I was not a big fan of those.
Do you have a favorite Iron Maiden album?
Yeah, it's an Iron Maiden.
Oh, the first Iron Maiden album, it was Paul Di'Anno.
Yeah, and of course, somewhere in time, it's hard to beat that.
Yeah, that's my favorite for sure. Oh, Live After Death. I like the live one. The Live After Death. That's a pretty killer. It's hard to beat that for a live album. I remember when I heard that, I was like, man, that's a high quality live album, and the video was good and all that kind of stuff. Are there any other Iron Maiden people in the audience? Drop a one in the chat if you're an Iron Maiden fan. Are you still out there? Do you prefer Bruce Dickinson or Paul Di'Anno on vocals?
Bruce Dickinson all the way.
Awesome. Me too. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know Cold Acre prefers Paul Di'Anno, I think.
Yeah.
Feisty Feathers.
He was good. Yeah. But Bruce Dickinson made Iron Man. Actually, that band we know as Iron Man, and it's Bruce Dickinson, of course.
So where am I here? Let's play us another song, and then we'll come back and say hello to everybody. I'm going to pick a song at random, like I always do. I'm going to choose, because we were talking about Iron Maiden, I'm just going to go with the name that sounds like an Iron Maiden song. That'll work. No, I'm gonna play this one here. I know it doesn't sound like, it probably isn't like Iron Maiden, but this is called "Embrace the Eternal." You want to tell us about this before I play it?
Do
you remember
which?
Do you remember? This is the video clip. This is the video clip.
Yeah. I think I made that for some synth community jam contest or something.
Oh wow!
Like that. Yeah. And I don't know where that came from actually. I just started doing it, and it just born like that.
I love it, man. I want to have songs like that too, where I'm just like, I don't know how this happened, but there you go.
It just happened. That's maybe the right thing to put it.
Awesome. Let's play this. We'll come back, everybody. We'll say hello. I'll get English right when I come back from the song, and we'll say hello to you all. And this is Empirism, Embrace the Eternal. Boom. dude. I feel so relaxed now after that. I was all hype, and now I'm like, oh, that was rad. That was so cool. Now, so that was maybe you remember that was for a competition or something like that. So
yeah.
do you like that? Was, it looks like it was filmed in the dark. Do you like to play in the dark?
Actually, yes. Yes, it is a whole different experience, actually.
Yeah, especially with keyboards and stuff like that, because you've got your own lighting going on in front of you, so it kind of creates that.
Yeah, it's reflecting at the mood, and when you turn the lights off, it's something like what's going on.
Well, I work in the dark here as well myself. Like when I set up my thumbnails and my stuff for the show each day, I actually have all the lights off in this studio, and just I like sitting in the dark. I feel like I can focus better, and especially when I record vocals, like if I can at night, I darken the whole room out because I don't know. I feel like I feel more secluded and alone, and able to like set myself free when I'm in the dark.
Yeah. I know the feeling. Yeah.
So let's go back. Let's roll back in time. And so did in Finland when you went to school, did they offer you something like, music lessons or anything like that in your early school days? No, there was nothing like that.
Well, there was of course music class,
Yep.
but it didn't offer me anything.
Right. So very
it was like playing that damn flute
recorder.
It was horrible.
Why?
Then you had to sing, and I can't sing.
Right. Why does every school in the world make you play the recorder? That is the question.
I don't know. And you had to sing, and I don't want to, but you have to sing. It's music class now.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Yeah, it's music. It's like singing's just one part of it.
Give me that electric guitar. It's way more fun.
Let's say hello to everybody here, and then we'll get back into it. So thank you all for joining us today. Please write something in the chat so I can find you guys and give you a shout out. We've got Pookie's here. Hello, Pookie. We've got Forest of the Wolf, Clayton Von Kluge, Laurie's Mishmosh, Cold Acre is in the house. Leanie is here as well. Ali Gratilia. What am I saying? Feisty Feather, Kubrick Lover, hello to you. Tremor Bear, I'm trying to get all the names as much as I can. Scott Borthwick, hello. Deep Gravity, boo. Boo, tickety boo. We got Mateusz in the house. I think I saw DOA come in. Many vibes. I'm trying to scroll back and see if I can get people I'm trying to remember as well. Let's go down here, see if I can get any more doorways. Into Music is here. Russ8889 in the house. Rise of Dark Leela. Gregory O'Sullivan. Shimmer Soul. Hello, Shimmer Soul. Good to see you. Who else? I think, have I got most people? If you don't give me a shout now, I won't be able to give you a call out. Maybe we'll catch you on the next shout out. I'll try and do one on the hour. Maybe. Did I say Thomas? Thomas Christ? Yes, I sure did. But thank you for hanging out today. I know there's more people probably lurking because I see the numbers. But thank you for being here today. It means a lot to both me and Empirism. You guys rock. So no music lessons. Oh, hey, Mark Wade's here as well. There's Mark. Good to see you. He was on here last week.
Yeah, hey, Mark.
All right. So guitar, like, was the guitar the first instrument that you actually started playing?
Yeah, it was.
Do you remember your first guitar?
It was Washburn.
Right.
It was electric guitar, and then I got a couple more after a few years. But,
and then a couple more.
Yeah, and a couple more. I think I had around 10 or 11 now.
Why do we do it as guitarists in prison? Why do we find the need to buy another fucking guitar?
I don't know. I play about 3.
Yeah.
No.
It's strange because I when I was doing it really tough for a few years when I was really sick, I was homeless for a period of time. I only had two guitars. I had an acoustic. Most of the time it was just an acoustic. Like I used to have many years ago, I had heaps of guitars, but I lost everything, right? And I just had an acoustic for ages, and it got me by with everything. Then I got an electric, and that's all I needed. But now I look and I've got 10. And do I need 10? I don't need 10 because they don't all get played. Is there one guitar you have that is the unfortunate weirdo that you never want to play? Do you have a guitar that you never play?
I play them all at the time. Yeah, but I have my own favorites that usually get to my hand.
I have a freak that I won't touch. It just every time I play it, it goes out of tune. So it's like the ugly duckling. It's actually in the cupboard. So
yeah, I don't have that kind of guitar. I love them all.
Right. Mine was a bad mistake. You know, it was like I call it my ex-wife.
Yeah. I think that's the problem because how you can sell your guitar. I can't sell my guitars.
Yeah, I can't either. I don't think I've ever sold a guitar to somebody.
Yeah, I can't sell my guitar.
I hate
too fond of them. You know,
I hate selling things to people anyway, secondhand, because people come and then they judge you and they go and they look at it and they try and find faults with it and stuff. And I don't want to be deceptive and like go, oh man, I hate this guitar. That's why I'm selling it. So I just keep it, even if I hate it.
Yeah, something like that.
So, what about guitar lessons? Have you had guitar lessons or anything like that over the period of time?
No, no. I'm self-taught.
Sure. Yeah. And do you have any like tips for somebody who wants to pick up a guitar? What was something that you learnt just through being self-taught that helped you be a better guitarist?
I think after you get hold into it, you play scales and you play chords and you start getting feel good, the hand movement and chord stuff. Learn music theory. It's the biggest thing that help guitarists.
Yeah, understanding at least some scales is, I don't know. I'm self-taught as well. And when I went and had lessons, I got really angry.
Biggest impact for me as a guitarist was when I began to understand relative scales and the circle of fifths.
Yeah, circle of fifths are very important, I think, just to have an understanding of where everything is. I mean, if you understand that, you're going to be able to understand something like a keyboard and all these things as well, too. You know, there's so many more instruments you can get from just knowing that.
Yeah. It's in music. It's one of the most important things to understand is circle of fifths.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I didn't know a lot of that stuff until I started this show because you have to start understanding scales in the circle of fifths. So there's so many apps these days. But at the same token, there's so many apps that come out these days that already have a scale for you. So you don't have to, you'll never hit a wrong note. We are in good times at the moment if you want to play music. Anyone can make music these days.
Yeah. And you get information from everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there a YouTube channel that you kind of follow who, does tutorials, or not tutorials, but talks about guitars and like scales or anything that you reference to get better or anything like that?
I don't watch many music theory channels.
What do you watch?
I read.
You read?
In Yeah, I read. It's old-fashioned way. Yeah.
What is this thing you speak of called reading? That's like
Yeah, yeah.
Empirism. That's a dirty word these days. You get locked up for that. You can't talk about reading, man. Fucking.
Yeah. I like reading. Actually.
I like reading too. I really do. Put a 1 in the chat, folks, if you like reading. What a sad state we are in these days when you hear somebody say, "I read," and you go, "What? You too?" It's like a.
You can't do it in 10 seconds. Where are those shorts book?
Reading is like a cult these days. It's like it's like an underground cult where you've got to meet and say a secret code word and go meet other people who read.
Yeah, something like that.
Look, that's exactly many vibes. That's the point where reading is good, right? But there's a lot of people out there who get their information from YouTube videos. You know, Susan, the random housewife who's got a YouTube channel who's telling us all like secrets about the world that we don't know, but only she's got knowledge of. You know those kind of, instead of actually reading.
But I think for guitar playing, maybe of YouTube channels, Tag Full House is the biggest for me.
Right.
I always wanted to be like that.
Do you know who Yanni is?
I'm sorry.
Do you know the musician Yanni?
I don't think so.
I forget I can't remember what nationality he is. Here he is. I can't play his music. I don't want to.
Sounds like Finnish name.
He's a multi-instrumentalist. Here, hopefully I won't get a claim for this. I don't think I will. Maybe I will. Let's have a look. I'll mute the music. So where is he? Does anyone know where Yanni's from? I don't know. Is he Italian? I thought he was Italian. Let me bring it up here. So he's a multi-instrumentalist, and this dude is he commands orchestras and stuff. When I see you, it kind of reminds me of a Yanni gig when I see you with all the synths around you. He's from Greece. Thank you. Yeah, he's always got. He's Italian. Is he? Clayton Von Kluge thinks he's Italian. I don't actually know. We could do a Wikipedia search, but he's an amazing synth player. He's from Greece, and he's normally got heaps of synths around him, and he's got the wind blowing his hair like Chris Lane Senior. But the dude's just he's a genius. Now I'm curious to find out. I just thought you might have known who he was. Well, let's find out. Where is he from? Let's have a look. I need to find out now. Yanni, Wikipedia. It looks like he's Greek. There we go. So he is from Greece. Hello, Maria, who's in the chat. He is from Greece. Dude, he's amazing. I just love watching him. He's like a conductor, musician, just amazing artist. You should check him out. You may like him.
Yeah. I got to check them.
So talking about synths, I know this is the burning question. And Les Nagy says, wind in the hair. Yeah, absolutely. He does have the fans blowing, Yanni. Let's talk about your synths, because the first question I want to know about them, right? And I think, most people want to know what they are and stuff. I want to know, is there a mixture of new and secondhand stuff in there with your synths?
They are mostly secondhand.
It's a thing because if people forget that a lot of these synths are really fucking expensive. So you want to pick them up secondhand, and there is a huge secondhand market for synthesis, isn't there?
Yeah. And I pick a reasonable price, since I don't go for those retro stuff because they cost like stars. no reason.
Yeah, yeah.
Behringer is all the way.
Yeah. Well,
And Cork, yeah. And then
it's interesting, isn't it? Because there's a lot of hatred for Behringer. But when you think about it, they are like the alternative to be able to afford synthesis that some of the big companies put out of reach for most people. You know, they're so expensive that at least,
yeah,
like, that's the thing. That's what they're there for. I mean, you know, it's debatable. Of course, people get upset and say, well, they're ripping off companies as well. But what they do well is they put synths in people's hands that might not be able to afford the stuff that is out there.
they are really close to their original synth, like TD3, for example. It sounds like 303. It's so close, not really, but so close. But price range between those two is 1,000,
Yeah, absolutely.
maybe more.
Absolutely. And like you look at a Moog, like, man, they're up like $10,000 here in Australia for a Moog synth.
Yeah.
You know, that's a lot of money for a synth. You got to be very invested in synth to buy one of those.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a profit for that.
No, who does? So, do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite album? We'll talk about them. Is there one that you go to the most out of all your synths?
Core Calculator Pro 3. Yeah, now, absolutely.
So I see in the chat all the time people saying, "What is that thing that you are using?" So let me bring it up here. K-oscillator. See, I can't even spell it. K-oscillator. There it is. Because these things are just rad. I'm going to bring up an image of them here. So tell us about how this thing works. Here's the price of it here in Australia, $649 for one of these. You want to tell us about how this thing works? Because I always see people in your chat when you're performing going, what is that thing?
Yeah, it have its own synth engine, and you can record audio to that thing, and you can use it as a looper. It have everything. You can do a song with that thing.
Yeah.
It have drums, all the stuff.
And like, so, you know, most people would see you using this section here and dragging your finger around it.
Yeah.
So this you can set this to a scale, can't you? Set a scale, set a key, so then you can't fuck up.
Yeah, there is 2 buttons, one with the key and one with the scale. And it's basically that area. Yeah,
so you can just drag your finger around here.
Yeah. When you move it horizontally, it opens up filter, and when you move it vertically, it changes the note.
Yeah, I mean they're amazing, and as you can see here, I don't know what they're worth in US. I would say about half this, because this is Australian price, and Australian prices suck because our dollar's worth.
That thing is one of those I bought brand new.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So what are they? I don't know in your money what they. I'm guessing in the US they'd be about $300-$400 for one of these.
It was around 400 euros.
And these days,
when I bought it.
These days, you can get this. I mean, Chaos. You can actually get it as an app too. Where is it? This is it here. I actually have it. Wow, I didn't even realize I actually owned it. So they released this as an app as well. So if there is anybody out there who wants to dabble with one of these, you can actually download this. I'm not sure how much it is. It's been that long since I opened this thing. So there we go. Touch to play. This is the instructions for it. And it's not making any sound. Oh, there we go. Wow. Wow. It's- so, and I think this comes with presets and stuff like that. You can see it's actually sideways at the moment for some fucking reason. I don't know why that is. So yeah, for those of you who want to play around with something like that, you can download this on, I think it's only for iOS. How long have you had that thing for?
A couple of years.
Right?
Couple years, maybe.
Yep, couple of years. So what about your other synths? So you want to run through some of them and I'll try and bring them up on the screen here as you name them for me. Did I lose you?
No,
Oh no.
no.
What are some of the other synths that you have? So I'll look them up here on my screen.
DeepMind 6.
Is that it? I think I've got it.
Yeah.
That's this one. I'm just looking them up. So here we go. DeepMind 6. This is a Behringer synth. Is that the one? That's the one there. Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
And what's going on in this thing? So is this a clone of something?
No, in that I know of. And this thing had it all. It has it's 6 because it has 6 voices.
Yep.
There is a 12 version too, but I have 6.
Yeah, this is the 6 voice.
What makes this so special is its mod matrix. You can do every possible thing you can think of in that thing, mod matrix.
For those of you who don't know about synths, so with a synthesizer, you have a modulation matrix, which means you can send modulation, so like a LFO, you can send that to any part of the synthesizer. So you can send it to the oscillators, you can send it to envelopes, whatever you want. So modulation creates movement, makes the knobs move automatically, and this has a very deep mod matrix. So yeah, 8-channel modulation matrix. Yeah, how much is it? Was this a second-hand job or a new job?
Yeah, it was second-hand.
I don't even know how much something like this would go. Let's have a look. We can go to Sweetwater. Because synths, man, they're so expensive. Like, I have one of these. I have one of these. And this thing is tiny, right?
Yeah. I love tiny synths.
This thing cost me so much money, man. So much money. Like, fucking.
Yeah, I know.
It's like $700 Australian, far out. It's ridiculous. It's made of plastic. It feels so light. It feels like a toy. So yeah, something like the DeepMind here in elements. So it says here, $599. This is on Sweetwater.
Yeah.
So that's nice. What else?
Sensible.
What else? What are one of the other synths that you're surrounded in that makes you happy?
Roland Jade 08. It's a boutique synth.
That's is that the percussion sound module? Is that it? Yeah. Am I right? I think so.
No, not that one. I think it's Roland Jade 08.
TD08. All right. Yeah. Find it.
Jade. Aged.
Let me find it. JD08. There it is.
Yeah.
JD08. Do you rate Roland stuff? Like, what do you like? Do you think they make great stuff?
Yeah, absolutely great stuff. Roland and Korg, they have a different approach of their synths.
Is that the one there?
Korg made, yeah, that one. Korg made more aggressive kind of sounds, where Roland stuff is more musical sounding stuff.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, like being somebody who reaches out to a lot of these companies to get apps, let me tell you, hey, if Korg, if you're watching this, fucking respond to my emails, for fuck's sake. They're too big, man. There's too many people you have to go through to get one little thing, you know. And so, what exactly does this synth do, my friend?
Everything that is so maybe it's a clone from the legendary Jade 800,
Right.
if you look that up. And that thing is so complicated that and I only scratch the surface. Yeah.
It is like that with synths. Like, you know, there's the more they will.
This is maybe one of the most complicated synths there is.
Even over modular synthesis. We were talking about modular synthesis at the beginning of this.
Yeah.
So do you have any modular like synthesis? Do you have any of that stuff as well? Old school?
I have
cable
I have
patches?
semi modular.
Right. Do you want to
And
explain?
Behringer Grave is one that I have.
Behringer,
C Grave.
oh yeah, Crave. Let's bring this thing up. Oh, these things are nice. This is a clone, of course it is. It's a Behringer thing, isn't it? Let's bring this up. So for those of you who don't know what modular, oops, I've got the wrong screen. There we go.
Yeah, that one.
So for those of you who don't know what modular is, or have no idea what synthesis is, it took me a long time to understand. I still am and scratch my head at modular stuff. It's all about patching things into each other and connecting things with, you know, I look at it, it's like using cables to patch things in. This is old school synthesis. Synthesis began as like computers, and people realized they could create noise by patching sounds in and feeding back off each other and creating tones and oscillation of noise. I mean,
it's electricity and signal.
there you go, VCO.
Yeah.
That's the simple way of explaining it. But it's hard, man. When I first started doing this kind of stuff, I would look at this. Even now I look at it and go, what the fuck? Because you've got to...
Yeah.
Everything's got to connect in an order to actually generate a sound.
I think, is there anyone who fully understands that? I think it's more like experimenting, you know, so puts this there and this there. Let's see what happens.
Do you follow Heinbach?
I know the name.
Yeah, because he makes a lot of like music with old test equipment, you know, old Russian test equipment, which they use for like testing phone signals and stuff, because that's where synthesis came from. It feels like synthesis was a mistake. Somebody accidentally found it.
Synthesizers do that analog modular thing digitally. It's all same thing, but in a compact thing that happens inside the synthesizer.
I find it absolutely mind-boggling. Like I said, when I first started doing this show, I had never played a synth in my life. I'd played, you know, guitars, drums, all that stuff, because I was in rock bands, metal bands, and then I started trying to understand what synthesis was and what an oscillator was, what a filter was, what an envelope was. And you go back and watch my old shows from 4 years ago when I'm trying to explain an oscillator, I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. But now, man, I'm addicted now, you know?
Yeah, it's a whole world, you know. When you start digging it, you can dig so deep that, oh man.
Yeah, it's you really can make so many sounds just from a simple sine wave, you know, to think that the simplicity of just a boo, you can make so much from it. It is just mind-blowing to know that even adding a filter to it and just...
And when you take expensive, huge synthesizer, when you play amazing evolving sound from it, it's that thing that happens inside it.
Yeah.
That's simple. It's just a sine wave or a square wave.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's a square, it's a sawtooth, a triangle, and it's just the turn, you know.
Something small, 3, 5 oscillators, 2 filters, but that same thing happens.
Yeah, a synth is a synth is a synth. You know, they all pretty much have the same thing. Once you understand how they kind of connect with each other, you can get your head around modular synthesis. It's just, you know, I guess with anything, if you tell yourself...
One thing I love about the modular synthesis is that when you do that, when you play with it, it's crystal clear. That those sounds are so amazing. Yeah, I love modular synthesis. Yeah.
If only it was more affordable.
Yeah, but we have a solution for that. It's called the VCV rack.
Yeah, absolutely. There's things on iOS too, like Me Rack and stuff like that, which I really should cover at some point. Let's play another track. We've gone this is a halfway point. I need to run the ad, which we do here on the show at the halfway point. So you can let's do this now. So I run an ad halfway through the show. To keep YouTube happy, I'm just going to click the button. So the ad has been run. You may or may not get an ad if you're watching this live right now. If you do get an ad, you can click past it. If you want to avoid the ads here on the show, you can do so by becoming a premium member. Now that we've done our advertising for YouTube, let's play a track. I'm going to choose, speaking of modular synth, I'm going to choose this track called Neural Chaos. Now, is this a modular synth kind of thing that you've done here?
Yeah, that one have a VCV rack on the background.
Nice. I'm just going to set it up.
It's my creation. It's very simple, but it fits.
Awesome. Let's play it. You ready, folks? So chill out for the next 5 minutes. Let's hear this. This is Neural Chaos by Empirism. Are you ready to go? Let's see Hippie to give us the boom to go.
Boom, 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 boom.
We are ready to go. Let's play this right now. Let's ooja. I was sitting here going, is this the end? And then you suckered me in and came back. Man, that looked like it took a long time to set up. Did that particular piece take a long time to set up with that modular?
Yeah, it took a while.
Because like even Thomas wrote in here, like he had to go at looking at modular, and it just did his head in. And I think a lot of people are like that. They look at it, get overwhelmed by it. So, I mean,
yeah. There's a lot of things you just have to learn.
And I'm guessing you have to be patient as well.
Yeah, very patient.
Are you a patient person?
Sometimes.
What does it take to piss off Empirism?
That's a hard question.
Yeah? Do you get pissed off easy?
No.
So would you say you're chill? I get pissed off easy.
Not these days. I'm pretty much like, Chen.
I love it. I wish I could be that like that.
Maybe it's a kind of way to look life, when you woke up in the morning, it's a new day, new world.
I've heard those lyrics.
It's great to be alive,
Yeah, absolutely. I've heard those lyrics somewhere before. It's a new day, it's a new world, it's a new life for me.
Yeah. I don't want to get pissed off. I want to have fun.
Yeah, I hear you, absolutely. And I just want to give some shout outs. Thank you to Pookie who donated 10 memberships. So 10 lucky people now, or unlucky people, I don't know. You've got to make that decision now, are members of this channel. Thank you, Pookie. You rock so much. Let's catch up with a few people who I've seen come in. Mr. Smith, Javelle, I got to do it. There you go, Mr. Smith. Javelle, I saw Valerie Butt is here as well too. Who else? Dave Fox. Haven't seen you for ages, Dave. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Stephen Hewitt's in the house as well, throwing the emojis around. Let's see. It was Forrest of the Wolf. G'day, Forrest. Good to see you as well. Who else? I'm sure I've missed a bunch of people who've come in during. If I've missed you, I'm a swine. I'll take it. I saw Manny from the Lily Pillies as well too, who asked a question here. He asked, I think the question was, is it hot in your studio with all that gear around you?
Not that much.
Yeah, synths don't really heat up, do they? It's more screens, I think, that create.
Yeah. If it's not hot in outside, it's normal.
Yeah.
There are a few. It's not hot. Yeah.
See, my studio gets really hot, but I have a 3-floor apartment. So I have a bottom floor, second floor is where my lounge room kitchen is, and the top floor is where my studio is. So in Australia, the heat, oh man, it rises. So in this studio, it's horrible. It's the worst in summer. But it's winter now, so happy days for me. Look who else is here. Camp G-May is in the house. What's going on, G-May? Good to see you. If you haven't subbed up to Camp G-May, you really should, because, listen, this guy, there's something really special. Yeah, there's something special about Camp G-May. I love G-May so much. What I love about him, when I first found his channel, was here he was with this little ragtag show, giving people the opportunity to come up and play, and it's just grown and grown and grown, and it's become something really special. I know everyone looks forward to his show every week. He does these amazing festivals where he has like 25 artists. What is it about G-May that brings you back there every week, Empirism? Because you play there a lot.
It's the people. It's the people there. It's a really relaxed atmosphere, and it's always fun.
Yeah, He's an
Yeah.
oddball. G-May's an oddball, and I love him for it because he's so strange, and I love him for that because I love unique, interesting people, and I've had him on the show, interviewed him, but he just gives people the chance to come up and express themselves.
I think I'm not. I would not be a performer I am now without Camp Jimmy.
There you go. It's true. I've seen so many people get up there and have probably their first time performing up there, and that's what G-May does. He just gives people the space to do it, and it's not like.
Yes.
And you know what? The other thing is too, he's super kind and lets if somebody fucks up, he gives them the chance to
No big deal.
He gives them the chance to come back and redeem, and I really like that about G-May. He's a legend. So, how did you find this YouTube music community? Was there a channel that you found first that got you sending your music or anything like that?
So many years. It is Metalhead Hippie that was the first community I've been in. Yeah. I think Mark Wade puts it right when he had his interview with you. I can't say it better. Jeff gave us a home.
Yeah, I remember. I think the first place I saw your music was on Metalhead Hippie. You know, I think.
Yeah.
Do you remember how long ago that was when you found the hipster? The hipster. What?
Maybe 4 or 5 years.
Wow! So you've been around that long on Hippie's channel. You're old school, man. You're the furniture.
I was watching Jeff shows very long before I had my own music there.
Right. So you were watching before you got the balls to send something in.
Yeah. You know, I was in this kind of mind state that when you see guys like Daniel, aka Mr. Mr. Rock, playing, how can I send those artists, those players was amazing.
Yep.
And I hesitated. I can't say it.
Was there anything in particular that got you over the hesitation to send in? Do you remember what your first song was that you sent in to Jeff?
I don't really.
I'll bet.
I don't remember if Jeff picked one or did I send it, but yeah, too many years, too much happened.
That's your laid back approach that you have. You just send whatever. So, Many Vibe says, is Empirism on Bandcamp?
No, not actually. I'm so bad at social media things or anything that involves something more than just. I don't have Bandcamp. Well, I should have. I know.
Well, you should. Well, that's one of my questions here. Like, everybody else releases music. And I'm interested to know, like, are you going to like get to that point of releasing stuff, like, on something like Bandcamp or distribution that people can buy? And is that something you've thought about?
I never thought to sell my music. Really? Yeah, I believe in free music.
Well, I mean, you can put it up on Bandcamp and not sell it. You can give it away.
Yeah. Because that's something I just didn't do it yet.
I'm sure there's people here would want to. So, I'm going to make you work in the chat. Are there people here who want to download and keep Empirism's music? Throw one in the chat if you want to do that.
Yeah. Maybe I can do it at some point.
So, what about since finding this community? So you find Metalhead Hippie, you send in your song. Your first song, you've become a part of the community. You're over there with G-May performing. What about collabs? Who are some of the artists? Have you collabed with many people here on YouTube?
Yeah, my first collaboration was with Mark Wade, actually, I think. I did many collabs back in the day with Mark, and it was so fun. He's actually so awesome musician and writer and singer, and he can just make your stuff shine.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, he's a gun. He's a gun musician, and I'm gonna. That's why I had him on the show, because I love Mark. I think he's brilliant. And but what about anyone else that you've done collaborations with?
Sylvia plays Forest of the Wolf, Welting Kinder, Scars and Shadow. Many people.
Yeah, and
really many people, and some of the synth guys, and yeah.
I'm wondering, how does your process go when doing a collaboration? Is there, so somebody reaches out to you and you add whatever and send that back? Is there a particular door you use to do collaborations with, to send music back and forward? What would be the process for you doing a collab?
Usually I contact them with the email, send my stuff to them, and they send it back.
Yep. Is there anything you use software-wise to record into?
I record them live, as I do all my jams.
Awesome.
Most of the time. Yeah, most of the time. Sometimes I use Cubase as a DAW.
Yep. Cubase. And I'm curious, do you use a PC or a Mac to make
PC?
Yeah. All right, let's play a song again. I see Hugh Caldwell's snuck his head in here, and Fish is here as well. Hello to you guys. Let's play another track. I'm going to play this Nocturnal track, and this is another jam, it looks like. So let's play this, and then we'll come back, and then we got half an hour to get the hell out of here. We're in the home straight, so let's bang this out. I'm going to make it full screen. Are you ready, guys, for another party? Get your glow sticks, throw your ecstasy down your throat, and meet you at the warehouse, because this is Empirism with Nocturnal. Boom. I love at the end of each one, you're like, man, much respect, because like it's really, I don't know how much people realize how hard it is to sit up there and improvise, because
it's not actually a simple thing.
Yeah, shit can go wrong like really easy, and it can go south very quickly. And you've got to be able, I think it's a lost art. You know, it's one of the things when I was studying music at the Victorian College of Arts, they had a whole improvisation section there and felt it was very important to be able to improvise, and they would put you in with musicians and just you'd have to like, here's a scale, here's a note, a root note, you have to jam around this and we're going to change it randomly and you have to adapt. And I think the art of improvisation is lost on many people because, you know, when you're performing, shit goes wrong and you've got to be able to like on the moment cover it and make it look professional.
Yes, absolutely.
Has there been a time when you've been, say, on Gmail or something where shit's gone totally, absolutely sideways and you remember it and you've gone, what the fuck do I do here?
Many freaking times. Many freaking times, yeah. But and I forget to do things.
Yeah.
That's the most common thing. I have, I can do this and that, but I forget to do it.
But the
But
art.
you got to live with that. Maybe it should not came to that time then.
Well, I think the art is in not letting it show. Like that's the thing. That's the thing that you need to learn and be able to. Because I see people who are improvising sometimes, and they may fuck up, and halfway through it, they fuck up and go, "Oh no, I fucked up." It's like, no, don't tell people.
Yeah, you have to continue.
Yeah,
Keep going, going.
Because as soon as you you say something like that, you take people out of the moment.
And I forget that bassist name, but it's one of the world top 3 bassists. Said that if you play wrong note, there is no wrong notes. If you do wrong note, play it couple times more.
That reminds me of a quote. So what is it? I think it's something like the only wrong note. Something around is the next note or something like that. Let me see if I can find the quote. It's Miles Davis. It's not. It's not the note. Where is it? It's not the note you play that's the wrong note. It's the note you play afterwards that makes it right or wrong.
Yeah, that's the point.
Look at it. Yeah, it's the recovery. Like that's the most important thing because people don't remember the wrong note. As long as the next note is okay. But if you play 4 wrong notes in a row, you're fucked. That's it.
Yeah. Or if you play wicked jazz thing, it could be meant to.
Yeah, well, that's it too, because people forget too. Experimental music doesn't always have to follow a formulation of circle of fifths and stuff. It's
I go off many times, but it's more intentional because I know my scales at the moment pretty well.
Yeah.
If I go away from it, it's meant to.
I just want to thank also some people who've super chatted over the last few. We've got Fish who sent a super chat, Dave Fox sent a super chat, Camp Gmay and Kubrick Lover. Thank you so much, guys, for sending super chats through today. It's very kind of you. Look, I love and Kubrick. What I've seen, Clayton's put up this thing here. So what, Miles Davis. Landmark track. Miles Davis was one of those people too. I mean, jazz is one of those things where wrong notes, you get away with it. You get away with wrong notes because it's part of the experience, you know.
I love jazz. I love the sevenths in a way because if you go like minor or major thing, you have to do it 8th way, maybe minor. But if the chords are 7th, you can go wherever you want.
Absolutely, yeah.
So jazz is amazing. I don't know how many know the channel Chris Durham.
Right.
He is amazing player. If you look, his keyboard skills are second to none, and his understanding of music, how it's work is amazing.
Yeah,
Chris Durham is absolutely one of my biggest inspiration.
I mean, I do tutorial shows every day, Empirism, and normally at the end of each tutorial, I load up whatever app I'm doing and try to improvise. And I can't tell you how many fucking times I look back at it and go, "Fuck, that was shit." and but people are like,
Yeah.
it sounds awesome. And I'm like,
Yeah. But that is something you have to, accept it.
yeah, well, that's it. You can't dwell on this shit, can you? You know, hey, look, what's shit to some people is awesome to others. Like that's just the way it is. You know,
That's all.
we all hear
Yeah.
things completely different. Are you hard on yourself? Like, do you beat yourself up over performances and such?
Yeah, pretty much. I accept for myself top quality every time. It not happen most of the time, but yeah, that is what my goal is. I wish to give best experience I can give.
Well, I think you do. Like that's one of the things. I know whenever I see you on a panel, it's like it's guaranteed that you know everyone always gets excited when it comes around to you on a panel because you know we're all wondering what you're going to cook up, and I'm sure you're probably sitting there wondering what am I going to cook up as well. Like if you're on a panel, do you have an idea of what you're going to play for that whole, or is everything just made up, like on the spot?
I don't have any plans when I come to the panel. I maybe it's what kind of an atmosphere is at the time because I live that moment. It's moment that inspire me.
Yeah.
Or not.
Yeah, I love that. I love that so much. I miss being live. Like I used to do a lot of experimental stuff in my old days, and we used to have this band. I still have it now, Utensils, but it used to be a very different band, and we used to have a book full of people's phone numbers from all over Melbourne with like 50 people. Some of them we'd never met before, and then we'd go do a gig, and we'd just randomly call people from the book. And that would be the band for that gig. And some of them we never met, and we would do a live show and just make shit up. And people used to think it was amazing. They'd be like, that was so amazing. And we'd like, we don't even know these guys. Like, you know.
That is a concept. You got to know your stuff.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're fucked up.
But a lot of the time it was a disaster. But again... But people don't know because, again, if you're able to make it look like, hey, we know what we're doing, people believe it. You know, you can make anyone believe anything. Thank you, Mr. Smith, for the memberships. Thank you. And Cold Acre for the super chat as well. Sorry, I interrupted you then.
Yeah, I think it's a different way how music. When you are a performer, you listen music are differently than people who don't play anything or are not musicians or anything. They listen differently to music, and that's the cool thing.
Yeah, and
in my opinion, I often want to listen music as non-musician because when you listen like people who are not musicians or do not play or do music, they get the whole experience.
Yeah, that's a really good point. That's a really good point. How, are we able to do that as musicians?
It's hard, in my opinion. It's very hard to listen music like non-musician. It's really hard, but I try to.
Yeah, I now that I think I've never really thought about that before, but now I think about it when I do listen to music, I'm very critical of things and be like, oh, I would have done that differently. Oh, why I wonder why they made that decision to do that there instead of just
enjoying it.
Yeah, letting it wash over you. I mean, there are I can't say I'm not like that all the time. There are songs out there that I hear and just start crying. And that's how I know when something hits me. If it makes me feel emotional and I forget about how it was made,
Yeah,
that's a great
absolutely.
song, you know.
Absolutely.
It's hard to write a song that, look at most of the people here in the chat and maybe watching on the replay. If you're a musician, sound off in the comments or in the chat here. It's really hard to write a song that connects with people, that takes people to another place. And I think you do. I'm sure you do that. Like, you know, today, me saying that when I played that song, that first song today, I was sitting here just going, I'm drifting off. I'm zoning off. I gotta come back and do an interview. That's a good thing if you can make people do that. Absolutely. Forrest of the Wolf says, as I started doing music, I lost the listening ability as a fan for a long time. I had to learn it again.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. Has there been any methodology of how you've tried to do that? Is there a method to you turning off your brain to be able to listen to it and enjoy it?
No, well, closing eyes is one thing.
Or wearing sunglasses?
Yeah. That's when a bad vision like me, it's a good thing to wear sunglasses.
Can you answer me the myth while you're here? What is the thing about sunglasses and YouTube performers?
It's one of the most important.
All right, folks. Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong because I'm not. All right, so you've heard it straight from Empirism's mouth. If you want to get better, wear sunglasses. I swear, I've tried to do a show with sunglasses. I couldn't fucking see anything. I couldn't see a fucking thing. Goodness me. What do we got? We've got 10 minutes. I normally ask for 6 songs, but we're probably not going to get through them all today because our last song I'm going to play is a collaboration that you did with somebody. So we're gonna roll it up today and ask the 2 famous questions that I ask everybody who come on the show. But I'm going to add a twist to this. So, Empirism, if you were on a desert island and you only had one album you could take with you and one synthesizer, what would they be?
Lighter Pro 3 for synthesizer, of course.
Yep, I knew that.
But what album? That's the hard question. Maybe it's Jean-Michel Jarre.
I don't know. I don't know who that is.
Jean-Michel Jarre.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. He's a one-cent dude.
Right. Well, that's cool. I don't know.
Maybe most famous of all. But
how do I spell it? Let me.
Jean-Michel Jarre. I don't know if I pronounce it right. That's the dude. Anyway. Maybe chat will help me out.
Yeah, maybe. There we go. Jean Michel. See, Mr. Smith knows. Of course he does. Of course, Mr. Smith knows.
Of course. Yeah.
Here we go. Oh man, he looks sexy.
But I don't know what album. Maybe all of them.
He looks sexy. Look at that photo.
If possible.
Damn. God, he looks sexy. So now I have homework now, so I have to go and listen to this dude and listen to his stuff, of course, don't I?
Yeah.
So he's French composer. See, I know nothing. Just when you think you know everything, you don't. So don't ever think you know everything.
I'm a bit surprised, actually, because this dude is a legend. Yeah. He's a legend. he did gigs like in a Golden Gate Bridge of and stuff like that. Huge spectacles. Yeah.
See, I love that I don't know everything because,
Yeah,
everyone's
yeah,
like,
that's
surely you know him, Jade. Listen, I don't, all right? Fucking, all right,
yeah.
all right.
I
I'm a
am
dickhead.
really surprised. I am really surprised.
I'm a dickhead. Oh, God, look at all this. I'm surprised. I'm amazed Jade didn't know. Everyone's attacking me now. Oh, piss off. I don't know everything, right? You know what? I'm happy to admit I don't know everything. I'm a loser. All right. Fucking, it is what it is. Yeah, I know Yanni. I know Yanni. Of course I know Yanni because of his hair. Because, all right.
Oh man.
Let's hit you with the last question. If Empirism, if you were giving advice to someone just starting out making music, when would you say is the best time for them to start?
Anytime.
Perfect. Anytime, you got it, folks. Any time of the day, midnight, lunch, dinner. You just do it.
Absolutely, absolutely. You can walk up and hey, I want to jam. Yeah.
Listen, I'm just going to have a go at Laurie's mishmash here. Listen, I didn't confuse Yanni with Fabio, all right? I didn't confuse him with Fabio because let's as soon as you put that up, do you remember this? Do you know who Fabio is? Empirism. Do you know this guy? This was the guy. I'm just gonna play this for fun. This was the guy. He was like a sex symbol. He was, for the time, he was a sex symbol. Everybody thought, all the ladies were like, Fabio's I think he used to call himself the most beautiful man in the world. Anyway, he went on a roller coaster, right, one day. Oh, no. And unfortunately, while he was on the roller coaster, there he is, the most beautiful man in the world. Look at him, he's so beautiful. And while he was on the roller coaster, a bird hit him in the face. And watch this. It's amazing stuff. So here he goes. He's going up the roller coaster. He's like the most beautiful man in the world, the sex symbol. And he's like, he's got ladies all around him. They take him to the top of the roller coaster. And unfortunately, as it comes down, he's going down. It's all great. Oh, there he goes. Look at him, the sexiest man. He's having a good time. And look at that. He got hit in the face with a bird.
Oh, that's bugger.
So I don't know. Thanks, Laurie, for taking us. Look at him covered in blood. And look at the girls next to him. They're like, it's all right, Fabio. You still look beautiful. It's okay. You still look beautiful. Anyway, we've got off track completely there. So that's what happens on this stupid show. We're gonna go out with this last track, but firstly, I want to thank everybody for being here today and all the kind super chats and memberships and all of that stuff. You guys are just amazing for coming and supporting not only this channel, but our amazing guest today. I also want to thank you, Empirism, so very much because, as I said at the start of the show, it's very late where you are and you've got to work and, you have come on here and sacrificed time to do this. So I'm very grateful, very, very grateful, my friend.
Thanks for having me. This was very fun.
My pleasure. And look, folks, are you playing Metal Fest?
Yeah.
Of course you are. Of course.
I'll be there.
So look, if you want to catch Empirism, make sure you're subbed up to not only his channel. He's getting close to 1,000 subs, my friends. He's like 900 odd subs. So go and sub up if you haven't. Go and sub up to Camp Gmay because every Saturday Camp Gmay does his live panel shows. You'll always see this legend over there playing, so make sure you do that. And Metalhead Hippie is co-hosting the Metal Fest this year. I'm playing Metal Fest as well. Can't wait. It's going to be so cool. I'm sure there's heaps of people playing Metal Fest. So go and sub up Camp Gmay because he's awesome. People can see you there. I'm so thankful that you came on. We're going to go out with playing this wonderful, get Fabio off the screen. What am I doing? Man, this show always goes sideways every fucking week. you know. So this is a this is a collaboration between you and Scars and Shadows, who is amazing. How did this happen? Did she contact you? How did this all come about?
I I don't remember what stream that was, but she said that somebody should make him her 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 a song or something, and I thought I sent. And really, I didn't see it coming. I didn't see it coming. She did phenomenal job on this.
Well, I reckon this is awesome. So I kept this to last because, you know, this is two people who come together and really, it's fantastic. This is a song called Taste So Good. It's Empirism and Scars and Shadows. Let me just quickly, before we do get out of here, remind you of what's happening here on the channel over the next couple of days, my friends. So we have, if I can find everything, get everything lined up. Tomorrow we're taking a look at these apps here. OSC Audio. These are 3 reverb apps. They've had 3 massive updates. They're really, really cool. So we'll be taking a look at these tomorrow. Then what else is happening here on the channel? Exciting stuff. The opening hour this week is a tribute to alternative and grunge music. I'm going to be trying to dig out some of my favorite alternative grunge stuff. So if you want to come along and see that, that's happening this week. And the rant this week is... I love this. It's called The End of the World. So if you want to come and find out what I'm ranting about this week, the end of the world, you'll have to come and find out. So is it the end of the world? Who knows? We shall find out on Sunday if you're living in the US and UK. Boom. All right, let's get this track on the go. Thank you again, Empirism. You rock. If please stay on the call until the end of the show so I can say goodbye to you off the air.
Yeah.
And thank you all in the chat. Love you lots. Remember, do the things that make you happy. Mistakes make you better. We'll all rise together and stay awake, whatever you do. Don't fall asleep at the wheel. This is Empirism and Scars and Shadows with Taste So Good. Boom. Boom.